So in third subtask of the JSON CSV converter project, we're going to be working on the CSV file writing part of the project. So we did read JSON and write JSON. Similar to write JSON, we're going to take file path and data as an input. So let's look at the functions we get from Python's built-in CSV module. So you have the CSV writer function, which is going to create a CSV writer object, which is going to write the data from the list of dictionaries into a CSV. And if you give writer.write row, we're just going to write a singular row. But if you give writer.write rows, we can write multiple rows at once. So the objectives for this particular subtask are as follows. We need to write data to a CSV file. We have to open the file in write mode, and we're going to create a CSV writer using csv.writer. And then we're going to iterate through that writer using writer.write rows. We have to handle two error cases. One is when there is no data present, or one when we have an error writing into the CSV file. So let's look at the code. So first we're going to import the CSV module from Python so that we can access the csv.writer and writer.write rows functions. Then we have our try and except block over here. This is basically used to handle error cases where we're going to try whatever code is present in the try block, and if we catch an error, we're going to run whatever is present in the except block. This over here is handling the error case when the input data is empty. That is, if not data, if the input data is empty, we're going to print out error, no data to write in CSV. And then over here in this line, we are opening the CSV file in which we want to write to. So we're going to give with open file path mode equal to W. So file path is the path of the file to which we have to write to, and W stands for write mode because we are writing into the CSV. So the reason why we've given new line over here is to avoid any blank spaces which you might get while writing into the CSV file. So we're going to import this file with these particular rules as file. Now after opening the file, we're going to call the writer using csv.writer, which we're going to take file as an input, and then we can write multiple rows at once by taking data as an input using writer.write rows. And once this is all done, we're going to return true if it's successful. And we have our error case or except block over here, where if we get an error, we're going to print error writing CSV file, and then we're going to return false. And in the main function, first we have our input data, and this over here will be called the header row, which is basically a list of column names. And then here we are calling this write CSV function, and here we are taking input from the user as to what is the file path. The dot strip over here is used to remove any kind of trailing or leading white space which might be present in the input the user gives. And then over here we're calling the write CSV function. Let's just run this code once. Let me give CSV file path as employees. So we have written successfully since we got an error message. Let's just submit this and check if our code is passing the test cases. So you can see we have passed all 3 test cases. Let's move on to the next subtask.